So if you're interested in flying and you'd like something to learn on, then you can't go wrong with this particular plane. Hello, this is BJ from Hearns Hobbies, and we're going to look at this trainer radar control plane. So this is the Easy Trainer 2 by FMS, and if you want to learn how to fly, this is one of the best ones to choose. So this particular plane comes ready to fly, meaning it comes with all the components that it needs to get it going. So it's got the plane, obviously, it's got the radar control unit, it's got the battery and motor, and I think the charger is included too. I'll confirm that as we open it up. It's a really nice size, 1280mm, so just over a meter, and it's made of EPO foam, which means it's quite tough, because as a trainer plane, there's a good chance that you'll be hitting a few things and you want it tough. If you do break parts, it gets cracked or such, then this particular foam can be glued back with regular super glue. The other great thing is the overall design of the plane, the configuration of the shape. So it doesn't have the motor in the nose, which is traditional. It's got the motor mounted in a pod just behind the wing. So this helps by when you land, you'll be doing belly landing, so you don't have to worry about undercarriage, because sometimes undercarriage, if you don't land right, it will flip. So you can just land on grass with this. It's nice to learn on. It's not too much pressure. And then also, if you accidentally nose it in, so if the nose bounces on the ground, there's no chances of damaging the motor in that case. And of course, if you nose in, there's no chances of breaking the prop either. So it's got a lot of pluses going for it. So let's have a quick look inside. Okay. All right, so it's a big box, obviously, because the big components. All right, so we've got the manual over here, which we'll have a close look at later. All right, so we've got the wings. Now you've got the wire coming out of here, because that is for one of the servos. Okay, so this trainer plane is also fitted with ailerons. So basically, if you don't know what ailerons are, so they're on each side of the wing, and they'll be moving in opposite directions to help you bank. So banking is like so. And then obviously you've got the rudder, which will help you steer like this, so it doesn't actually bank. So usually you don't use the ailerons to begin with, but at least they're there so that when you get used to them, you can get into some sport flying. Okay, so there's a servo there already mounted, and that controls this aileron. And then obviously, this side, you've got the other one. Okay, so another servo there, control rod to the other aileron. And you'll see that the way that these have been molded, they're designed to interlock. Okay, can't actually do it now because there's a servo lead in the way there, but that'll just press together. And once you've got those pressed together, that would just slide straight into the fuselage. So fuselage is here. Actually, let's get this out first. Okay, you got your horizontal stabilizer, so part of the tail. So this just needs to be fitted with a servo horn to control its movement, so it helps it to pitch. Then over here you got your main bit, which is your fuselage. Let's pull it out here. All right, so that is basically your fuselage. Okay, so motor's already fitted. You've got a brushless motor in here. So being the V2, it's got an upgraded motor. You've got a bit more power. It also, being a upgraded brushless motor, it gives you a bit more flying time as well. I think it's close to 10 minutes flying time on this. But of course it'll glide as well, so you don't have to have the motor on all the time. So theoretically it'll fly longer than the motor running for 10 minutes. Okay, so if I spin it around, so it's already got the decals on it, which look quite nice. Over here is more noticeable, you can see the servo. Just there you can see the servo for the elevator. Here you got the servo for the rudder, so it's already attached. Prop's already attached, as you can see. So you can clearly see the idea with this. You know, if you nose it in like this, there's hardly any chances of this getting damaged. Even if you spin it upside down, you might damage a prop, but if so, it's easy to replace. Okay, so the wing, as I showed earlier, that just presses together and it just slides inside here, and it's all held together with a bolt that goes through the center. So even after you finish flying, it's very easy to pull it apart, and it doesn't neatly fit back into the box. Okay, so you'll notice that there's two leads there for the ailerons. So when you put this together, you just need to feed those into the little hole here. And once you feed that into the hole in the fuselage, then you need to guide them to the front here, and then they'll plug into the receiver. So here is basically all the workings. You've got the battery. The battery sits right up in the nose because the battery has a bit of weight to it, and that helps it balance. So it's a 1300 lithium polymer. So it just sits in there. You got all your various plugs. So there's your power plug, and that just plugs into the speed controller, which you can just see here. Okay, so you can see the speed controller is already attached. 3 motors there to brushless motor. And then the other end is connected to the receiver, which is just in here. Oh, let's pop that there. Easier. Okay, so receiver is just there. So you get your receiver wire, and then actually all labeled here for which servo is which. And then obviously your aileron servos are just plugged into the receiver, and then you'll be able to get it ready to fly. Now the canopy cover is quite nice. So you see it's got a big hook on the front, big hook there, and just a couple of little clips. So all you need is to hook it in through the front like that, press it on, it's clipped into place. That's it. Easy to pull off, take off. Nice. Okay, so of course once you've got all that, that's all your plane. So we've got other little bits and pieces. You've got a charger. Won't actually pull it out here, but it's a 240 volt charger. You've got the lead there, plugs in the end, and then your lithium polymer battery just plugs in the end, automatic charging. Over here you've got a few of the accessories that are needed for the final assembly. So you've got your elevator, control horn, and then the lead as well. And then you have your radio control. So the radio control is just here, like so. Very neat. It's a 2.4 gigahertz radio, so it doesn't need any super long antennas. 2.4 gigahertz also finds its own channel, so you don't have to worry about crystals like the old radios, so chances of interference are very, very low. You've got all your full functions here. Okay, so these two sticks operate the throttle. So you get your throttle control here, which has no spring. And then you've got your rudder, elevator, and aileron controls across all here as well. And then you have your servo reversing in case you want to use this for a different radio control. But for this one, it's already factory set. And then what you will still need to get is just some AA batteries. And that's just to power this up like that, just 4 AA's. Okay, so that's practically it. So if you're interested in flying and you'd like something to learn on, then you can't go wrong with this particular plane.